Welcome to Gloria's Gab Live. I am very excited today because I have an amazing guest. But before I go to my guest today, I want to thank Baraha Medical Institute, Quigley Eye Specialist, a company of Quigley Eye Specialists, and let you know that they've got some awesome things going on there. And coming up, they have a Mother's Day kind of celebration a couple days before Mother's Day, and it's free. And but it's limited, so you have to kind of RSP for it. But Baraha is located right at 2525 Douglas Road. So if you're interested in participating in this free event, they're going to be offering instant eye lifts and all kind of raffle prizes, all kind of good stuff, and food in a box for you to take with you because you can't eat because of COVID protocols, but should be a fun day. So bring your mom or not, just come and enjoy it. But please do RSVP, call them again, Baraha Medical Institute. So thank you again for them. Now, my guest today is the amazing Elizabeth Kourtesis Fisher. And she is, thank you for coming, by the way.
Thank you for having me.
And Elizabeth has many, many hats. And with the General Federation of Women's Clubs Florida, she is, okay, give me what you're doing. President's Project.
I am chairman for GFWC Florida President's Project. Yes.
Yeah. So, and what is that project? Tell us about that project.
Well, every 2 years, the Federation president gets to select a president's project. So this year, our president, Diane Forrester, has selected love, respect, and kindness for persons with special needs, special abilities, or disabilities. And so this year, the goal for all of the club women throughout GFWC Florida is to go out into their own neighborhoods, grassroots, and find those that have special needs, special needs, special abilities, or disabilities that they can go out and serve. And so what's been happening all over the state of Florida has been absolutely incredible. Projects have been everywhere, from Key West all the way to the Panhandle, and love, respect, and kindness is flowing everywhere.
It is, yeah. And so we have a convention coming up we're very excited about.
Yes, we do.
At the Rosen Plaza in Orlando.
Yes.
And we get a lot of people coming from District 11. How
do.
big is our district? How many clubs? Tell us about it.
Yes, we have 11 clubs.
She's past district director, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, because, she couldn't let go of a lot of responsibility. She took on more. Right.
Yes, I was honored to serve as district director from 2018 to 2020. We have 11 clubs within our district, and there are 14 districts within the state of Florida. And so, yes, we'll all be represented up in Orlando, and we'll be heading up to the convention. And it's a great time for the state of Florida to come together to share projects that they've done, to celebrate different award winners being recognized for great service and hours and contributions, and just time for different districts to get together and meet. And it's a wonderful time.
And, it's also a great opportunity for us to share what we're doing, and and we steal from each other because
Absolutely.
we go, hey, got a good idea? We'll do that too.
Yes.
So I always love that because you always come back with so many great ideas on things you can do to improve or make it a positive impact on your community. The Women's Club has such an amazing history. And you and I were talking about how it started in the 1800s. And why don't you tell us a little bit about that, because this is such a good story.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Well, the roots are fascinating for GFWC, the General Federation of Women's Clubs. So it originally was founded by a woman named Jane Cunningham Crowley. And back in the 1800s, she decided she wanted to attend an all-male press conference dinner for
Charles Dickens.
Charles Dickens, thank you. And she was denied admittance because she was a lady. So she decided she was going to start her own group, and she started a club named Cirrhosis. Well, after 21 years of women's clubs popping up all over the United States, in 1869, she decided to call a rally together in New York City, and representatives from 63 clubs from around the country
Yeah.
back in that time
We're
gathered
talking
in
about
New York.
it was not like you flew.
Exactly. It was
You
a
came by wagon or
right, horse
whatever,
and buggy,
train.
right,
Yeah.
train. And they gathered in New York, and together they formed the General Federation of Women's Clubs, which makes us 130 years old, Gloria.
Wow.
So yes, wonderful, wonderful roots. And the women's clubs have done so much over the years. There's just a couple of prime things that stand out in my mind. I think Coral Gables Women's Club, as well as the Miami Springs Women's Club, were original homes to libraries in our communities.
Exactly.
So there are clubhouses all over the country where 85% of the libraries were started by women's club volunteers.
Right.
They gathered reams, they checked out books, they checked in books, and Miami Springs had over 5,000 volumes, all taken care of by volunteers over the years. And so that was amazing, 85% of the libraries. And then there was, back in World War II, 1944, the General Federation of Women's Club members rallied together to raise funds. They wanted to buy a bomber.
One plane, though.
They wanted to buy one
plane.
So they rallied. They started raising money. They made dinners and cookies and just fundraised it everywhere they could. And they did not buy one fighter bomber for World War II.
Okay, tell me how many. This is like amazing.
It is absolutely amazing. In that day and age, they bought 461 fighter bomber planes. Absolutely amazing. Over $150 million in that time was raised by 461 fighter bomber planes. Isn't that absolutely incredible?
Yeah, and that was a story I had never heard until this morning.
Yes.
I knew the Women's Club was involved, but I had no idea.
Yes.
That's just
amazing.
Yeah.
And even after 9/11,
exactly.
the women's clubs came together and they bought an ambulance for New York City. After losing so much equipment, the country came together and bought an ambulance. Yeah. And they've just, over the years, have done so much legislatively.
And we actually have a house. The General Federation has a house in Washington, D.C.
We do.
Where the president of the International Federation lives.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah. Yes. And it's open for all members to go and visit. You can visit. You can even stay, take a little tour.
I'm going to make a trip one day.
Oh, great. Let's go together.
Check it out. There you go.
That would be fun.
So coming up, so Elizabeth is also past president of the Miami Springs Women's Club. And do you have any events coming up other than, I know you all are participating? The Coral Gables Women's Club has a Mother's Day tea. Yes. It's an afternoon tea. Our friend from the Miami Women's Club, Shirley Pardon, who is British, made me aware of the fact that it's not a high tea, it's an afternoon tea. I told her, no, it's a low tea. She says, no, it's an afternoon tea. Okay. So just so you know, we're having an afternoon tea, and it's going to be so much fun. So you guys are coming. I got a lot of people from the district supporting it, and I really appreciate it. And it's going to support our dental clinic for needy children, and that is actually adjacent to our clubhouse. So it should be a fun, and it's only $60 if all you want is food and drink. But if you want unlimited bubbly, I'm talking Prosecco and white wine, whatever, $75. And we have a large ballroom, so we are practicing social distancing still, although most everybody in our club, and we talked about it here, everybody at Miami's community newspapers is double vaccinated. So that kind of makes us feel a little more comfortable about gathering inside and outside. Yes. And then guess what? What? We have Bringo Bingo coming up also for the dental clinic, but I think we're going to do that. That one's going to be for the dental clinic, and for we're going to help out Safe Haven for Newborns. They have been through, some trying times too, and had to cancel or postpone their gala, but they have a golf tournament coming up. So we haven't tried that. Have you tried a golf tournament?
We have not, not for the Women's Club. Well, I want to congratulate you and all you've done with the Coral Gables Women's Club and the dental clinic. It's just made such a great impact on children over the years and needy families. So what a wonderful job. Well done, Coral Gables Women's Club. And
do you believe it? We even get, other clubs actually, the Miami Women's Club recently approved $1,000 donation to our women's club, and then you guys support us by coming to our galas and things like that. So it really, the dental clinic is really kind of a district activity because we get such great support from everyone. So there's a couple of other things that I know are coming up. We've got a district meeting coming up.
We do. We have a district meeting.
Yeah.
This opportunity for our clubs to come together, share what they're doing.
We're still doing it Zoom.
So many are. Few are starting to gather, just a few in small numbers, but we want to be safe. And so little by little, we're getting there.
Yeah. Well, we actually have a board meeting, and we've got a big ballroom, obviously. So we're actually going to gather and we're going to have food and stuff, and
Fantastic.
kind of individually. We try to do them individually wrapped, like we're doing the same thing with the tea. Mm-hmm. Everybody's going to get an individually boxed meal instead of having it,
Wonderful.
Ordinarily it would be, for the teas, you hardly have it on a tiered tray and that kind of stuff. But yeah, we have to adapt. So, So
very nice.
When you're not volunteering, wait a minute. Before we go there, I just looked over there. We have some art. The General Federation of Women's Clubs has all these different things that we support, different departments, and this. Tell us about this.
So there is a GFWC Florida Arts competition and fair that is held every year within clubs, within districts, and within the state of Florida. So all of the district representatives will head up to Orlando at one of the conventions, and all kinds of artwork is on display. And so this was a photo that I had taken, and it was in Central Park in New York, and it was a gentleman who was homeless, and he was feeding the pigeons, and he had a little sign out to collect some donations for bird seed, and I just happened to take this photo.
Okay, hold on, let's get it so we can. There we go. Yeah, so you don't
see
get
it there. Okay,
but that's like an amazing picture.
And the birds were in flight. He would put his arms out.
That reminds me of Home Alone.
Yeah,
remember that thing of Home Alone?
Yes.
Right.
So that was fun. So this is just to, encourage ladies that are interested in the arts to come and participate. One of the things Miami Springs Women's Club does is on Tuesdays, we have an art program where members from the community can come in and just dabble in the arts together, learn a little bit about acrylics, watercolors, and painting. That's one of the longtime projects Miami Springs has been doing and encouraging the arts. So if you like the arts, that's a great reason to look for a club that's near you. And so that would be fantastic. Miami Springs Women's Club is also doing a couple of activities coming up. So I'd like to share that we have had for the past 5 years a very large health and wellness fair, and we are going to bring that back for January. We're going to get through this time frame, but we are planning now to be on January 15th. On Saturday, we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who come and attend. We close the streets down. We have buses and vehicles. We have the Rebecca Sosa stage, and we just have wildlife shows and awesome stuff for healthy people, healthy planet, we call it. So we encourage anyone in the health and wellness world that would like to come out and
we'll have
share.
To talk to quickly about it.
I was thinking about that.
Rosie's in the building, so we'll talk to her later.
Oh, wonderful! And then can I highlight one other project of the Miami Springs?
Plug all you want.
So for about 40 years, we have had a medical loan closet through the city of Miami Springs Women's Club, and we always have housed wheelchairs and walkers and potty chairs and canes and you name it, for medical equipment that people may need. So insurances are paying less and less over the years, and sometimes this equipment is needed. Maybe somebody visits, or someone's had a recent surgery or what have you, and maybe actually purchased medical equipment can't come timely. So we have had this loan closet.
That's so funny. I have that in my garage. I didn't know that I could give it to somebody to house.
There you go.
So funny. Yeah, because I have a friend whose mother lives on the West Coast, and but ultimately she's going to be coming back. And I said, hey, if you're back and forth, if you need, like potty seat or a walker or whatever. I had 2 walkers at one point, but I have a girlfriend who had an injury, and she is 2 stairs. So she said, "Oh, it'd be great if I had another walker for upstairs."
Look at that.
So
Exactly.
so there's quite a need.
Yes.
And you're
so
right.
it's
Even
there.
if you get all the stuff, you may need 2 of them.
You may need 2 of them. You may not get it if
What a
you order
great
it. It
thing
might
you're
take
doing,
some
though.
time. So
I-
that's been going on a long time. We're so proud of that project and the history behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, is there anything else you want to tell us about? You can plug all you want.
Oh,
Okay,
let's see.
this is your okay.
Well, I will share one other
Okay.
program that's been a long time highlight for the Miami Springs Women's Club, and that has been our nursing scholarship, which has gone on for decades and
yeah.
decades and decades.
Mhm.
We give financial scholarships for nursing each year to nurses, and this year we had a remarkable story of a mother, single mom with 2 young children, and the $5,000 nursing scholarship made the difference between her being able to go back to school or not. And
Yeah.
so we do nursing as well as literary arts each year. And so those have continued for decades and decades, and we're very proud of that program and to see these students move forward in their education.
Well, you know who else? It's so funny. The Cocoa Plum Women's Club.
Mhm.
You know, Anita Jenkins
Yes,
and that.
yes.
Hey, and you know, by the way, some of those club members were members of the Coral Gables Junior Women's Club. So
Oh.
we're like really sisters. We danced together in cabaret. Charlene Feldner and gosh, who else? Oh, Barbara Knoppenberg. Yeah, Jane
Oh.
Knoppenberg. Isn't she in that club?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Barbara Wexler. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so they contacted me because they said, "Hey, we have these scholarships, and my Rotary Club gives out a lot of
Yes.
scholarships." And so they actually put their money with the foundation, the Rotary Foundation, and
wonderful.
were able to give out the scholarships and facilitate the ease of that and because it's so hard to
wonderful.
give away scholarships. You really, yeah, it's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah, we have my Rotary Club has a great a committee of people that do that.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yes, it is hard.
so yeah, so the Miami Women's Club is going to be opening up their facility, I guess, over the summer.
Yes.
So they've spent a lot of money.
They have,
so-
and I'm proud to say I'm a co-member of the Miami Women's Club, a little over a year now.
Seriously,
Seriously, I'm so
I-
happy to be a part of them.
I know they're great.
They,
Oh my
they are
gosh.
great.
Yeah.
There was a wonderful walk that they did in downtown Miami.
Oh well, yeah, we
to
all did
honor
that.
The celebration.
Our Women's
yes,
Club got
women's
involved
right
in
to
that.
vote.
That was suffrage.
This suffragettes.
And
yes, yes.
yeah, it was really interesting because at the time that they won, women got the right to vote. Black people were not allowed.
Right.
So at one point I think,
Yes.
didn't you change?
We
how-
did. We were walking down. Everyone was dressed in white. We had our suffragette banners on. And then at one point, we went about halfway through the walk and we stopped and we parted and we encouraged the ladies of color to move to the front and to lead the procession, honoring when they became able to vote as well. So it was very moving. It was very moving
Yeah.
and wonderful for
And
the
we
community
covered
to
it in the
see.
paper.
Oh,
We did. We did.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And that was, that
yes.
was such a great thing to do. And the General Federation of Women's Clubs is honoring things all the time. We just had Earth Day. Did you do anything for Earth Day?
We did have Earth Day. Yes. So we have an environment is one of our community service programs for the General Federation. And so we are constantly doing environmental items within our city. We learned within the Miami Springs Women's Club, we learned a little bit more about recycling on the daily basis, recycling at club events, what the little difference that we make in each individual event, what it can add up to be. So we really did it like a self-reflection and examination, being environmentally conscious at our events. So yes, that was one of our
We actually
activities.
did that this Saturday. I was out of town, so I missed it, but we, on a regular basis, Kim Davison, who is our environmental chair,
Mhm.
sets up that when the city does their recycling.
Mhm.
And the city will even they even have a truck that does shredding.
Okay.
So it's a pretty
very
neat.
nice.
It's a pretty neat way to get rid of all your stuff.
Yes.
And the other thing is, do you do the medicines and things like that? I know
We don't.
some clubs are doing that.
No,
You know,
we do not.
taking that, you're recycling that,
Yes.
or working
yes.
with the county to do that.
Yes, they will
Yeah.
have a day to collect medications. We don't
right.
want to discard them in the regular trash
Right.
or down the drains. So they will
Yeah.
be taken back in and
So-
discarded appropriately. Yes.
So we had a mammogram mobile or whatever.
Yes.
come. Have you ever done that?
We have not. That's wonderful.
Well, I think we're going to do it once a year, so I'm going to make sure
Okay.
that we invite you.
Great.
For the people that don't do it, I mean, I do it on a regular basis, but there are some people, especially younger people, that maybe they get a baseline and then they don't do it again
Sure.
For a long time.
That's very
So it's, if you have an event and it's a club event, they'll go, well, okay, I'll do it.
There you go.
So,
So
but you never
important.
know whose life you can save, and we have.
Absolutely.
You know, we had somebody that, well, one of our members, I won't say who, but that went in for colostomy is another thing.
Yes.
Having those done, and somebody went in and discovered they had.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So talk about saving lives. That's the only really preventable form of cancer, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
If you get checked.
I don't know for sure, but
I always say
that's
that's
wonderful.
one of the preventable forms of cancer. If you get checked and if you do that on a regular basis.
Yeah, it's so important.
Yeah.
So absolutely so important.
Yeah.
In the medical world as well,
Tell me about what you really do.
What I
A
really
real
do.
job.
So
But
for my
she's-
real job, I'm honored to be a 23-year hurricane. I work for the University of Miami Middle School of Medicine. I work with the Department of Surgery, director at Organ Transplantation Department of Surgery for Patient Access and Revenue Cycle. And so I would love to encourage everyone, if you have not considered being an organ donor, it is so important. We see firsthand the lives that are changed, the families' lives that are changed, the lives of children that are changed by being an organ donor. And so I highly encourage you. At the Miami Transplant Institute, we have done more organ transplants here in our backyard 2 years in a row than any place else in the United States. Truly a leading program, and it's amazing the difference that is made. And I also encourage you to talk to your next of kin if it's a decision you have made. It's so important that they know, and if there's time when that question comes up, that they can concur
They feel
that's your
comfortable.
decision.
Yeah.
And they are comfortable. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so we see lives changed on a daily basis. It's an incredible program. And so please consider being an organ donor. And if you have questions about organ donation, there's a lot of information online you can look up, and we change lives.
Do you? And so, in your position, do you go
Yes.
out and talk to people about signing up for it, that kind of thing?
Not
Because
in my
I've
official
had it.
position, but
No,
Mhm.
but you can.
but I can. So I am a member of Life
Give her a call.
Alliance. Yes.
Yeah.
And so we go out to events and we do encourage donation. We will talk about being a donor at the Health and Wellness Fair. We always have a recipient that is there post-transplant that talks about being an organ donor. So yes,
Yeah.
I do that on
I
the
actually
side.
think I signed up for that when somebody came and spoke.
Look at that.
So, but it's one of those things that people don't think about it
Mm-hmm.
until you say, "Hey," I go, "Oh, I always wondered how to do that."
Yes.
You know,
So very important.
Yeah. So if you're out there, if you have a club, if you have a group of people that want
Yes.
speakers, you can email me
Absolutely.
and I'll send it on.
Yes, absolutely. We'd love to talk to any groups or individuals that are interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Fantastic. Fantastic.
now,
Yes.
how we doing on time here? Okay. So I want a shout out to Denise Sobrero, who not only is a fantastic photographer, but she's filling in as producer today. And I'm talking, this woman is amazing. She's also a graphic artist. So shout out to Denise for getting us on the air. And then again, I want to thank Baraham Medical Institute and a company of Quigley Eye Specialists. They do amazing things there, from cataracts to Botox and eye lifts, and but they have ophthalmologists on staff. They have plastic surgeons. This is a place where you can get anything done almost. So, and they have a lot of great events again. So if you're available on May the 6th, 5 to 7, they're having a great event for Mother's Day. It's called Mother's Day Rejuva event. Should be fun, and we're going to go.
I'm looking forward to being there.
But you do have to RSVP, so give a call if you want to go, and make sure that they still have space for you because of COVID. Of course, it's limited. And anyway, I'll see you all next time. Thank you all for tuning in. And again, thank you, Elizabeth, for joining us today. Always a delight to be with you. And I'll look forward to seeing you at convention, if not before.
Absolutely. And before we close, I want to congratulate Gloria Burns, who is our GFWC Florida District 11 Volunteer of the Year. So
thank you so much.
Congratulate you for all your great work that you have done.
Just so you know, I follow her. She was a Volunteer of the Year last year. So yeah, we're pretty busy, but we have a great group of people that help us make things happen. And so we wouldn't have been volunteers without our backup team.
Yes.
So
great women here.
Anyway, so thank you all for coming today, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.